It's kind of like, you're going in one direction. You can go in one direction for like, a certain amount of speed, and you're going to feel the G-forces. But if you go in that direction and you try to turn, your body's still trying to go this way while the jet's trying to go this way.
When you get punched in the head while you get knocked out.
They're all trying to go that way, and you're turning the plane this way.
You think that's what Chris Rock felt?
No, he didn't get hit hard enough.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast.
Hi.
We're here again.
I'll keep going to
White guys in a room doing a podcast.
Is there really no sound in space? Is it because there's no pressure?
Yeah, but there's lasers. Pew pew.
If you see like the Death Star explosion, it'd be like. Now there might be a sound if you're on a planet. Well, I don't even know.
Where does the sound waves go?
I've never gotten to the top 3.
You gotta start picking better, man.
I pick good. You just don't like them.
You pick 2?
I pick good. I pick them. I pick good. Look, Daddy.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wing.
That's right, dear.
Dude, I can't take it.
Welcome back to the Wiseworks podcast. All you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. Is that...
Yeah, you did it perfectly.
Is that not it?
No, yeah, that was absolutely it. Shut up.
That's not
That was it. It was it.
I literally thought, as we were coming into this episode, I was literally thinking like, yeah, we made a tagline for these episodes. People get used to it. They look forward to it. They look forward to that welcome. And every time it's Joshua's turn,
I can't. I said when we were listening to the intro, I can't remember what it is.
Well,
Wacky.
Wonderful Wiseworks
Yeah.
podcast.
I
all you
prompted
guys,
this.
gals, geeks, goofballs. What did I say?
he said, "Welcome back to the Wiseworks podcast." Like we're newbies on YouTube.
I thought you were going to try to be like, I can't remember, so I'm just going to say welcome to the Wiseworks podcast. I prompted this. Joe said for me to start, and I said, well, why don't you start? It's your turn.
Yeah, it's all your fault. Why?
But I knew that some piece of gold was going to come. I knew it. That was
I don't know about gold. More like
why didn't you just play along?
the turd of a
That
pug.
would have been so funny. All
right, playing along, switched on.
It's
Playing
on.
along.
It's on now.
All right, now you're going to be playing along.
There's
Cool.
nothing that's going to be serious in this episode. It
So-
was you. Stop sniffing. Joshua's drinking a Red Bull. He's delirious from congestion.
And he's farting.
Congestion.
Yes, congestion. You can hear it in your voice.
Nasal congestion.
Yeah.
I thought you meant something else.
Pull it together, okay?
So I wanted to just say we were drinking milk here,
We are.
and I was
been
thinking
a while.
it'd be fun to have a nice tall glass that says "I drink" on it. But when you fill it up with milk, the letters appear that say milk fast. So it says I drink milk fast. But otherwise it just says I drink.
That's actually really good.
You started
That'd be
giggling
fun.
and almost spilled
Almost
that.
spilled your
You're
milk.
like he.
So Wyatt and I are drinking milk tonight.
Yeah, and it's a bad idea
No, it's not.
because I'm pretty sure I'm lactose
You think you're
intolerant.
lactose?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This is a theory of mine.
I'll suffer the consequences. I
Look,
don't
this
care.
is a theory of mine, okay? This is a wrong theory.
Oh,
I'm
is
gonna
it Joe
tell you-
facts? Joe science?
Joe science, right off the top. As you get skinny, you become lactose intolerant.
Really?
Hmm?
Yeah, that's what you think.
That's what I think.
I'm not lactose.
No,
I don't think skinny people are able to drink milk.
I'm
They
fine with
become lactose real quick. But, the people that have more life to them,
What?
took an extra poundage.
extra poundage.
Well, I was starting to feel like the tummy grumblies and the lactose kind of gas before I was losing weight.
You think it was just poor diet?
No, I think it's just you get older and you get sensitive to things.
I've been fine with the diet.
Because
I've been with the milk.
My milk consumption's never been an issue until very
I don't really
recently.
drink it, but when I do,
Drinking milk isn't really a problem. Eating cheese is not really a problem.
See, the cheese is fine.
It's the ice cream.
Ice cream's probably not great for you.
No, it's not. It's not. Of course, it's not great for you. I'm telling you, for me personally, ice cream. You know.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
Ice cream doesn't work well in my system, so I can't enjoy one of the basic pleasures of human life.
Interesting. Well, I was gonna also ask you guys what's going on. How you feeling? I know Josh is kind of feeling the same. Are you feeling any better
from last time we recorded
podcast? Yeah.
It's been a week.
Yeah, it's been a week. No, yeah, same.
You don't look as bad. You looked pretty bad the first time.
Your eye veins have subsided,
but now you look much better. You have better color in your face. What about you, Joe? Anything interesting or new?
Yes.
Okay.
So I am going to be attending. Not really attending, okay.
Yeah.
So this next week I am going to be at the Final Four basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be in the stadium, nor will I be in the hotel next to the stadium. But I have my colleagues at work that will be attending this game, and I will be receiving firsthand footage from that game.
Okay.
All right? I will be editing it, sending it back to my work.
Dang.
It's like saying, that's like saying you get like a secondhand picture of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm going to be receiving a picture of the Eiffel Tower from a friend of mine in Paris, and then I will be sending it to somebody else.
Here's the thing, though. I have to be in the city where the Final Four takes place.
Yeah.
How come?
Because they have to give me the physical footage on a card.
Mm.
There are ways around this.
Yeah.
But we don't question things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We don't question it. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we roll with the punches. For the first time in my life, I will be going to New Orleans. Joshua, give me your first thoughts about this. How do you feel?
No comment.
Give us a dang comment.
No comment.
Give us a comment.
Josh loves wants to go to New Orleans.
No, he thinks he loves New Orleans.
No, I think he's just said it's one of the places on his list that he'd like to visit. Yeah.
He'd like to visit, but he also calls it haven't you called it your favorite place in the world?
No, I can't say that. I've never been there.
No, but he does. No. He does always say New Orleans, and I don't know why.
No.
I think New Orleans.
He's always going around the house. I'd love to visit New Orleans. Josh, please.
What's your interest in New Orleans?
No, I've got this kind of. I don't tell a lot of people this, but I got this soft part in my pulley the tug strings for a little bit of some jazz.
Okay,
I like some jazz. I don't listen to it every day, but I like it. Mm-hmm. It hits the spot. It's like a warm cookie with some milk,
like blankets.
Yeah.
When you're ready to sleep.
Kenny G. I know that's gonna anger a lot of people when I say jazz, but I like Kenny G too.
Okay.
And I would like to go to the birthplace of jazz,
New Orleans.
Yeah,
New Orleans.
Even if I don't even there's not a lot of people doing jazz, just see it.
You could probably find some cool bars down there that are doing live jazz stuff. Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. And so Josh will not be attending this trip. However, I will be. So I will be sure to take a lot of mental pictures and try to describe them when I return.
I don't want you to talk about your trip when you come back.
Can you take
I can't say a dang thing.
Not to me.
Can you take some regular pictures?
Maybe.
I might want to see some of the cities and architecture.
I'll send you a postcard.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think it's I don't know how many hours it is from here driving.
We're not driving. We're doing the real travelers method by Sky. That's what we're doing. Well, what's going on in your life, Wyatt?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing at all?
No, not really. I read an interesting book. I was talking about it.
Yeah, freaking! You've been obsessed with
podcast.
Brandon Sanderson lately.
This was actually the other guy, Dan Wells.
Okay,
It was one of his books.
Dan Wells and Brandon.
Yeah, I turned it on because he writes he has this famous series about a serial killer. Well, he's not a serial killer. He's 15 years old and he's a sociopath, and he's dealing with serial killer impulses.
Oh,
he really wants to kill people. He really wants to kill people.
yeah.
But as the story goes, it's kind of more of it's both what's going on inside of his head as he's trying to parcel out how he feels about things, and there is a serial killer in the town that he lives in, somebody who is actively killing people, and he lives over a morgue, so they see all the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Or his mom and his aunt run the morgue, but it's like a monster book. If it was just serial killers, I probably wouldn't be listening to it. But
serial
the fact
killers
that
mixed with monsters.
there's a monster in the book, I'm like, yes, I like that.
Is this monster similar to like a werewolf vibe?
Yes and no. It's more demon, but not like
that's
demon,
not your thing.
but not demon possession. It's an actual physical monster.
It's an entity.
Yeah, it's a thing that is physically killing people.
Okay, I need to ask you guys this. So, a number of years ago, the Stranger Things story came about, and we experienced the Upside Down concept.
Yeah.
And the creatures from the Upside Down. Very strange concept that we have not really seen in stories too much, right? We've heard of other realms, but we haven't heard of like a distorted ethereal mirroring of our realm.
Yeah, we haven't got too much of that.
We've gotten...
What did you guys initially think when you first heard of this concept as far as storytelling goes? New concept. New idea.
I don't
We
remember
rarely get new ideas.
season 1 of Stranger
So
Things.
season 1 was Alien, except with the addition of the Upside Down and kids and 11.
Which is why I bring up the Upside Down. Because I know with the monster, we've seen that narrative before.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the kind of E.T. vibe and the, kind of the lab rat fire starter thing they got going on with 11 mixed with the Upside Down makes it for a more interesting. If it was just like the monster, I don't think it would have been quite as interesting. I think the show had a lot more going for it with the other stuff. So,
what did you think, Joshua?
I don't remember season 1 that much because it's been so long. But you're talking about like other worlds. I mean, like other like mirror dimensions.
Mirror dimensions that are like this distorted version of ours, that things do live inside of, things that shouldn't cross over.
I know everybody has been spoiled for him. But it's one of my favorite movies because it was not spoiled for me when I watched it. Was The Sixth Sense.
Okay.
That's really a good movie. It's got kind of this other dimension a little bit. The kid
Other dimension. Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of like a ghost traveling dimension,
Yeah.
That's actually in ours. So kind of like Insidious a little bit. Did you watch Insidious?
No.
Insidious is kind of like this other dimension as well, but it's inside of our dimension. It's just in the ghost realm, The ghost realm is an interesting concept, except for the Upside Down is a literal other dimension that is mirroring ours, right? So, fascinating concept. I remember watching it. Kenzie was an undergrad, and we would like watch it in her dorm room on her little undergrad bed when I would have visiting hours. And we would be like, "This is we watched it on our laptop.
Such a good show.
This is such a crazy show. What's going on?"
Yeah,
man?
no, I watched it on like an old CRT TV. One of the big fat ones with the kind of almost bulbous screen.
You watched Stranger Things on that?
I think so.
How? How are you streaming something from Netflix on one of those TVs?
You could do that if
With
you had like a laptop hooked up to it.
With Xbox?
Yeah.
A laptop is like HDMI out. Those big old screens don't use HDMI.
You can get HDMI to the 3-pronged, the yellow, red,
they're adapters
white.
and stuff. Look, we did it, and we watched that. We watched Daredevil. We watched a lot of different things on that TV.
Okay.
Played Mario. It was
So it felt like you were from the 80s.
It really had, it kind of had that vibe. But yeah, I think we should probably transition to our opening segment.
Absolutely. We're going to open with watching Top Gun Maverick, the official trailer. Number 2.
And I haven't watched this.
I haven't either. Have you watched it?
I clicked on it, and then I clicked off of it.
Because you thought, we're going to watch this on our stuff, right?
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something we had seen before, and it was not. But I didn't see the whole thing, no.
None of us have watched this. Genuine reaction. We'll talk about it once we give this a go. Let's get into it.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
What do we have here? Yeah, here I thought we were special.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
What kind of mission is this?
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell. Let me be perfectly blunt. You are not my first choice. You were here at the request of Admiral Kazansky, a.k.a. Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
Then we're off.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen.
Not even him. You think up there you're dead. Believe me.
My dad believed in you. I'm not going to make the same mistake.
So as I come back from this.
Those are your pilots. If anything happens to them. You'll never forgive yourself.
No turning back now.
Having any fun yet?
What a lovely trailer.
Is this? It almost sounds like, and I didn't know this before. That the kid with the mustache. I don't know what his name. He's on War Dogs. He's on Whiplash. He's Goose's son.
Yeah, it seems like that's what they're doing. He's got the same pathetic little mustache.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously he's Goose's kid.
Obviously.
No. He said
visual cues.
He said they showed a picture and it was like, my dad trusts you. I'm not going to follow the same mistake.
Moment, I thought when he said that, he said, my dad trusts you. I thought, if it's the dude with the pathetic little mustache.
It's Goose.
Yeah.
It's Goose.
I don't know if you guys noticed
about
this.
the kid in the trailer. It's like, of course.
This angle
Yeah.
from, do they call it a cockpit?
In the cockpit?
The cockpit of the plane.
I don't know if that's the shot they call it, but yeah.
The cockpit shot.
The
The cockpit.
cockpit shot.
Yeah.
What about the shot?
Most of that trailer was taking place from this perspective.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes.
I probably counted like 20 to 25 shots
Of this?
in that trailer of this angle. I mean,
Yeah.
the environment around them in the plane.
I'm going to ask you a real serious
Same
question.
shot. All right.
And if you answer the wrong way, you're off the podcast.
Well, we will make fun of you.
Oh, yeah, probably. Have you seen the first Top Gun?
Yes, a long time ago.
Okay.
Like back when we were still going to Carowinds a long time ago.
You also know that he's flying these jets.
Yes, I am aware
So
that Tom Cruise is actually flying.
That's kind of why they're...
I'm just saying I'm interested. I don't know for the trailer. Best foot forward. All right? Not that this is a bad shot. It's actually super dynamic with some of the angles that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm interested in is why so many in the trailer.
No.
Yeah.
You know? Every single interaction of someone flying a plane, the only angle they have is this
What do
one.
you remember of the first one? Because, like, that's Top Gun. It's kind of the I don't know. A lot of the movie is them in planes.
Mm-hmm.
It's them flying. The only movie that I've ever seen that there might be a lot out there, but I've only seen one that kind of compares to this. You ever watch Red Tail by George Lucas?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
George Lucas took this idea of Star Wars flying spaceships and put it as the I can't even say it, Tuskegee Airmen.
The Tuskegee Airmen.
And that's a good movie.
But you know, the cockpit shot has kind of been this is a standard. This goes
I
back
understand.
to like Star Wars, Top Gun, Independence Day.
It's like people nowadays look at it and be like, it's the GoPro look. You know,
Yeah.
they attached it inside of the plane. You get a great view. I'm not hating on it. I think it's awesome. I'm just saying, in that trailer,
there was a lot
most of it was this angle.
Well, also I want to mention, and this isn't a negative about the trailer, but the delivery, I think, of some of the lines we heard was... I'm hoping it's not indicative of what the entire movie is.
No, it will be. It will be.
But
the first one's pretty cheesy, ain't it?
Yeah, that's what Top Gun is, though.
Yeah, it's the cheese.
Yeah,
It's
but
the
like
bad dialogue.
the first one was... The first one was the first one. This is not the first one.
They're
but
trying to make a
I don't want it to
that.
be the first one. But you know, the fact that they had to mention everybody's pilot name in the trailer. Anytime they mention somebody, they mention their pilot name as well. I don't know. That was
No,
weird
that it
and
will be
cheesy.
that. I mean, I just hope we get a lot of, like, you know, greasy hair, people sweating.
This is a different
Playing
time.
volleyball.
You know what I cannot wrap my mind around is the concept that Tom Cruise looks so freaking good.
He's had a lot of work done.
You think it's a lot of work?
If he's
Or
had,
you think he's put in a lot of work?
I think if Tom Cruise has had work done on his face, it's been like minimal, or it's been super professional. There might be something to like that Scientology stuff. Maybe they know something we don't.
Maybe
they have secret laser things.
Yeah,
I mean, you better, you know, they're the Illuminati.
Shh, don't talk about Scientology. They're not a real religion.
No, but you know,
Scientology's a fake. Your leader is a whack job.
I heard someone talking about
leader.
No,
Oh.
he's not. Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise.
I don't
Did Tom
know.
Cruise create Scientology?
I don't
You
know.
know how big Scientology is?
I have no idea.
They might ask YouTube to remove us, and they'll have to do it. That's how big they are.
Really?
Scientology is like the number one. They might not be number one. They might be like second of owners of real estate. Like,
Oh wow.
they own like insane amount of real estate and stuff.
We're supposed to be talking about Top Gun, Scientology.
How do you not talk about Tom Cruise and
without
not talk about
Scientology.
Scientology?
Well, I mean,
If
look,
there is Illuminati, Scientology
Is behind
and the
it.
leaders are behind it. I'm not kidding.
I went to H&R Block last year.
stressful.
They've been texting me nonstop.
Did we come
H&R
back?
Block, like in the middle of the
Get your
night, they're like,
taxes
"You
done."
up?" H&R Block, you up?
He takes back. Maybe who this?
New phone, who this?
New phone, who this? Like H&RB. You're like Haley. You get your taxes done, boy.
He's like, "Yo, you get your taxes done." What kind of flirting is this? She wants to know if I'm fiscally responsible.
Hey, if you enjoyed that video that you just watched, that was the pre-show we record every week for the podcast. That's an exclusive video on Patreon. So if you want to watch that, go check out our Patreon. We got 3 different tiers that you can subscribe to. With each tier, you can get a little bit more exclusive content. Go check out the Patreon. Thanks for watching this video, and back to the podcast.
I think it's kind of apropos that we are talking about Top Gun while there's jets going by.
You know,
the only time it's appropriate is for when there's jets flying over.
Like I might shed a little tear.
Where did they film
in the middle of this
Top Gun? They didn't film around here, did they?
I don't think so. I would
Maybe they
seriously doubt it.
But there's a lot of things.
I am in.
There's also one in California, which wouldn't make sense to come out to here to film it.
I am intrigued though.
We're not that far from.
We
are pretty far from Atlanta. All
right.
That's it. I am intrigued about like the angle of he's going to be teaching these pilots in the sky.
Yes.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Like he's teaching, but they're in the jets.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of really the first one was.
Yeah, too, but you know, it's him.
Yeah.
You know, it's Tom Cruise's character Maverick teaching the new recruits sort of in the sky. I think that's awesome.
I'm curious. So like, let's put ourselves in the mindset of Tom Cruise for just a second as an actor. So he's flying this real freaking jet around. You know, he's trying to get the shots. He's like, his mask is flying off. He's delivering his lines, all of this, right? Do you ever just think like he might get in a situation where he's like, oh, I might die in this moment. And in the process, I just have a stupid freaking...
No. He
stupid freaking Maverick, like just advertising his next
Absolutely,
movie.
he wants to die, and when they find him, he's like he was wearing the Maverick helmet.
You don't think Tom Cruise ever has a crisis of identity where he's like, "What am I doing, man?"
No, I think Tom Cruise was like, I think he was probably the first Hollywood Maverick. I think he was, that was really his thing, being that kind of actor. And, there's all kinds of copycats, like, Logan Paul, his merch company is Maverick. Yeah. It's like, Tom Cruise is the original.
Look, I'm just saying, Tom Cruise at some point, at some age, Tom Cruise is going to be like, I got a real freaking life. And I'm just like on camera.
Yeah.
And I just want to die this way on camera.
Maybe.
I know he's super committed to this concept of entertaining the masses. And I respect it. Obviously, I respect it. It's the occupation I'm trying to get into.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't be like...
No, he's going to crash a plane.
I'm gonna look weird as crap if I die doing this.
No, he's gonna crash a plane or a helicopter or a spaceship, and he's gonna land. And his last words are gonna be like, "You get that? You get that shot?" They're gonna be like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, get this.
Get this."
Make sure you.
That's his last word.
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. This. Make sure you get this last part.
Somebody cry as I die.
As I die.
Somebody better cry as I die.
You're all going home. We're trying to.
And you. People are getting paid. It's their jobs. I'm about to die.
Get it off out.
Somebody better cry.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. Well, that's Top Gun.
Looking forward to it. Excited to see it finally, and I guess it has to be experienced in theaters. So we might as well go.
Has to be experienced.
A staple of our podcast, like you already mentioned, is the jets.
Yeah,
flying over us, and we're not talking about commercial jets. We're talking about
about the jets from West Side Story.
No, definitely not
jets.
The jets. The jets from Top Gun.
Right.
All right. Tom Cruise could be flying above our heads.
Could be flying right above our heads.
We wouldn't know because we just hear his jets.
Did you guys ever see the video of the he's flying one of these planes and he's in the thing. It's a
Tom
real
Cruise?
No, it's a real video of
Oh,
a military guy, and he's in the plane and he's just like flying. He's like, highway to the danger zone.
I haven't. I have seen
have.
a lot of people who fly for the first time and they get real old looking. Like
Yeah,
their
from the
face,
G-forces.
their face becomes old
Mhm.
for a second, and then it relaxes, and you're like, "Oh, that's an attractive young lady." But for a second there, she wasn't. She was like 60 years old, and a lot of times they pass out.
Oh yeah. You got to go through.
And then they
severe
wake up and they're
G-force
like,
training.
Woo! I passed out.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
you
I
got to
mean?
wear like a suit
Yeah.
and everything. It's crazy.
That's crazy. What exactly is G-force? I don't even understand what that is. Is it just moving too fast?
Yeah.
It's the
Essentially.
it's the amount of forces that are on your body when you're moving. It's kind of like, you're going in one direction. You can go in one direction for like, a certain amount of speed, and you're gonna feel the G-forces. But if you go in that direction and you try to turn, your body's still trying to go this way, while the jet's trying to go this
like
way.
When you get punched in the head, while you get knocked out.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing.
Is it because your brain is still trying to be here,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
your body's moving there?
Yeah, your organ. You can feel your organs like moving. They're all trying to go that way, and you're turning the plane this way.
You think that's what Chris Rock felt?
No, he didn't get hit hard enough.
No, you didn't see his whiplash? He went like,
Yo.
whap!
Chris,
didn't get hit hard enough.
everybody's been talking about Will Smith.
Well, you had to bring it up.
I just was making
We're
a
gonna
joke
be talking about it later.
on the Midnight Special.
Wait, Chris Rock took that like a champ.
He did. He has strong
What
chin.
an absolute champion took that slap.
I saw a video.
That was a
This is the
heavy
last
hit,
thing we're
too,
gonna
that
say,
sound effect.
and then we'll talk about it on the Midnight Special. But I saw a video of Marty, the zebra, up on stage, happy, and then
Uh-oh, Richard.
what's the fish that Will Smith played on Shark Tale?
I don't know.
Oscar.
Oscar walked up to him and goes
To the zebra.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Did you watch a lot of Shark Tale?
I think I saw it through one time.
Dang,
I don't remember it.
I've watched
Well
Shark
Wash.
Tale way too much.
Don't remember it at all.
Well wash.
Yeah. And I watched Madagascar a lot as well.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, when I was a kid, I didn't even understand the celebrity status of a lot of
Right.
these voice actors, right?
Mhm.
Ben Stiller, Chris Rock,
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You were just like, oh, these are.
Will Smith. I didn't think, oh, these are the latest and greatest.
You saw Will Smith. You were like, he was in Shark Tale.
He was in Shark Tale.
Shark Tale.
I literally saw. I saw Steve Carell
Mhm.
do the advertisements as Hammy from The Hedge.
Yeah.
Over the Hedge. Yeah.
Over the Hedge. And I was thinking, oh wow, this is the guy who plays the raccoon in Over the Hedge. But no, he was the guy
squirrel.
from The Office.
He plays a squirrel.
He plays a squirrel. What did I
Yeah.
say?
Raccoon.
You said raccoon.
That was
Bruce Willis.
Willis.
The same with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
But look, I saw Steve Carell doing the advertisements, and I'm like, oh, this is the guy from Over the Hedge. But no, he's the guy from The Office and 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Didn't even think about it as a kid. Didn't even know.
wouldn't have known.
Wouldn't have known.
I wasn't allowed to watch The Office when I
You're
was
like, now I
11.
like The Office at 40-year-old.
All you were doing
he
was-
was Hammy and
because he was Hammy and Over the Hedge.
Is-
I've watched Die Hard just because I learned about Bruce Willis from the dang raccoon.
Over the Hedge.
It's like you're like a kid watching The Pacifier, and you're like, I didn't even know this guy was about family.
Exactly.
It's obviously about family.
I mean, we're of the age that our introduction to Vin Diesel is the pacifier.
it's the pacifier.
Now that might be weird for some people, but other people resonate. Like that's how we found out who Vin Diesel was.
Yeah.
The pacifier.
I mean,
That's weird.
why literally like just not too long ago we would watching
Fast
Fast and Furious.
I'm watching all the Fast and Furious movies for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. What other extremely famous act? I learned who Will Ferrell was from Elf.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
a big movie.
That's a big movie.
Yeah, but it was
That's
still
one of his biggest
kids'
movies ever. Yeah.
You know, that family-friendly kids thing? When a big star... That's like saying I figured out who The Rock was from watching, you know, Tooth Fairy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Or
True.
It's like well-established
is
hardcore.
Game Plan? That was one of his movies.
Yeah,
The
Game Plan was...
Yeah,
it was an earlier
the game
film.
plan, I think. It was the game plan that was like, this is The Rock's, like,
Yeah.
first
big breakout.
one.
He was playing a football player with a daughter. But yeah, it's that's an interesting concept.
Back when he had hair.
Yeah, back when he had...
We should just have a segment on the podcast, back when he had hair. And just...
There's a handful of actors that are like back when they had hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I learned about Johnny Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean. So
He
what do you
still got
say?
hair, though.
He do.
But again, that was like one of his big breakout roles.
It was no.
No.
For Johnny Depp.
For the fame that he has now.
No, for like
that was like,
for like the adult to childhood fame, but just fame in general, not even close.
I think that was his big fame thing.
Absolutely not.
No, people knew who Johnny Depp was. Everybody knew who Johnny Depp was. But then it was like Johnny Depp from Pirates is a completely different level of fame.
It is a different level of fame.
Completely different
and
level.
he hasn't touched that level of fame since.
No.
I'm just saying super well established famous actors like Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
You learn about through their family-friendly films or their mildly family-friendly films. Pirates of the Caribbean was a family film.
Also,
no. Yeah, you do. But I don't think as a whole people learn. We just learned because we were younger. We were the kids.
But also, like, Robert Downing Jr. had been around for a long time.
Mm.
He'd had controversy. He had been in the acting scene and in movies for quite a long time.
Yes.
But he entered a new level of fame with Iron Man. And I think Depp did as well. It's a different kind of... That Disney fame hits different.
The Disney fame do hit different.
Disney
Let
fame
me ask
hit
you
different.
this. Do you know Jack Black from Kung Fu Panda or Nacho Libre?
No, probably Kid Rock, School Rock.
That's how you know Jack Black?
I don't personally, but I think
Nacho
that's
Libre.
where most people...
I'm asking about you.
Nacho.
Yeah.
Nacho
I learned about
also.
it from Nacho. And
When I
shortly
found out
after Kung Fu Panda.
he wasn't a Mexican, I was devastated.
When like everybody else in the movie is Mexican, but Jack Black isn't.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment. We're gonna get into Marvel.
Yeah. Speaking of that Disney fame.
Speaking of that Disney fame, though, but first,
Cynthia.
thank you, Cynthia, for
Thank
being
you,
a Patreon
Cynthia.
supporter. We love you. If you want to be a Patreon supporter and get yourself a shout out on the episode every single week, not every week you would get a shout out, but you have a chance at a shout out.
Shout out, yeah.
Every single week. Or your name in the credits literally every single week of the podcast. Go check out Patreon. Links in the description. You can find us there and select the tier that best fits your content needs. Thank you, Cynthia, for being a Patreon supporter of the Wiseworks podcast. Let's get into some of that Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that strange.
I thought that's what you were going to say initially, but I was like, you ain't going to say that.
Let's get into some of that strange.
This is an interesting poster. Is
Okay.
this official? Is this like an official poster?
I think it might be.
Okay, because he's got the necklace on, but there's no time stone in there. Like, he's got the time stone necklace on, but there's no time stone. So why is he wearing the necklace?
That was the first thing you noticed?
That was what I know. I'm like, why is he wearing the necklace
I don't
that
know.
contains the time stone that has no time stone in it?
This is just supporting visuals.
Okay.
I can't confirm nor deny this is an
Alright.
official poster.
Okay.
But what grabs your mind about the idea of the time stone not being there?
Just that why would he still be wearing it?
Oh,
I was just like, why would he be
I got no
wearing
answer
this
for you on that.
empty, essentially, it's a chest on his chest. It's a little box that contains something and there's nothing in it.
that's a good point.
That was the only thing I was thinking. Is like, that's weird.
That's a really good point. This is some kind of graphic work that's been done. Do you think, what I wanted to introduce, first off, ask you guys a question is, what are your predictions as far as this film?
As in?
They introduced the multiverse in No Way Home.
No. They did, yeah. I'm kidding.
No,
Yeah.
not really.
They introduced the concept.
They introduced a multiverse adjacent story in No Way Home, where we were getting characters from different universes, so we know it's out there. This one, we're going to be, I think, going directly into other universes.
Okay.
This, I feel like, is kind of going to be a sort of early-ish Civil War type movie. Civil War introduced Black Panther.
Yes.
It introduced
Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. It introduced a lot of these new.
Was Ant-Man introduced also?
Ant-Man was in it. It introduced like him turning big.
Okay.
But I think it's gonna kind of be that. This is kind of gonna be that. They're gonna introduce new storylines.
Okay.
That they are going to deliver on later.
Gotcha.
With
so
this one.
This is a big setup film.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big setup film.
What do you guys think about the choice to... do you think it fits canonically? Obviously, with Doctor Strange, it fits that he's going to be the one to enter the multiverse kind of first, because he's got, the spatial abilities, the skills.
Yeah.
However, do you think this film is going to be just the madness side of the multiverse? Or do you think there's actually going to be a narrative story? Or do you think there's going to be a cliffhanger, like a big one, that we kind of end the film with? Because, we saw with Avengers, was it Endgame? The one where everyone disappears?
That's Infinity War.
Infinity War. We saw with Infinity War, it ended on a downer, and we were like, this is a new feeling. With something as big as the multiverse, you think they're going to end it on a downer?
I don't think this is going to end like Spider-Man, where all the loose ends are kind of tidily wrapped up.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets Peter Parker.
It's going to definitely leave us hanging with some stuff.
Definitely going to, it's not all going to wrap up in a nice tidy bow.
Okay.
I'm kind of hoping that when it says Multiverse of Madness, that they are going to... that's kind of going to lean a little bit on what happened in Loki.
Okay.
Because I feel like after the events of Loki, the multiverse would be kind of in a crazy state.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, I don't know. But I'm hoping that it's going to somehow tie into...
Seems like it has
that.
to.
Yeah.
And Kang the Conqueror, they have to constantly build on that negative, on that narrative.
Yeah.
Because he is setting up as the next Thanos. He is going to be the next ultimate villain. And it's strange that they introduced him in Loki, but we've got into that in previous episodes.
Well, and if he's not going to be the ultimate villain for the next arc, they're going to use him, I think, to introduce the next villain or to... something like that, because like Dormammu, even though we've seen him already, could easily be the next big villain, or Galactus, or Howard the Duck. These, galaxy-consuming entities that we've seen before. Well, we haven't seen Galactus. I'd really like to see Galactus, because that means Silver Surfer. Once we get Galactus,
and there's rumor
Silver Surfer.
Fantastic Four will be in this movie.
There's always a rumor. Do you actually think?
Yeah.
I think it's possible.
There's good evidence there?
I think it's possible for this movie to introduce...
We already we're like... We know Charles Xavier's in this.
Yeah, we do know that. So they're doing the X-Men crossover.
Or somebody who is being played by Patrick Stewart, who is like kind of Charles Xavier.
I don't know. IMDb labels him as Charles Xavier.
He could be named Charles Xavier, but not be one of the X-Men.
Oh, that's true. It's a multiverse.
Yeah. It could be any kind of Charles Xavier.
With the special abilities.
Maybe he's Charles Xavier, but with Wolverine claws. We don't know.
It is going to be madness.
Terrible. It would be terrible, but that's the multiverse.
Okay. That's a very interesting concept. Do you think the way or Marvel in general has set themselves up, can they go that wacky? Without people just losing it and being pissed?
I don't know. I mean, maybe in a movie like this where it's just like we see it briefly, where it's like, oh, in Loki they obviously did it. There were different kinds of Lokis. There were, in the I think
somewhat though.
I don't want to see Patrick Stewart Wolverine like the movie.
Yes,
obviously, but if he's like, no, they call me Wolverine here because of
Terrible. How old is he these days, you think?
Probably pretty old. But yeah.
Here's the thing. I think the madness side of the multiverse is going to be a little bit on the reins.
The predominant.
No, I don't think the madness. I think they're actually going to downplay the madness.
Oh, okay.
I think it's actually going to be relatively grounded. It's just going to feel like madness in comparison to what we've seen from other Marvel films. Now, obviously, Wanda's playing a huge role in this film.
He's only 81. I thought he'd be in his 90s.
Only?
I mean, that's old, but he's been around for forever, it feels like.
Wanda's playing a big role in this. What do you think for her character? She's the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Is she progressing in this role? Because they gave her a whole show.
Well, he mentions, or they show in the trailer that he is talking to her about things that I don't remember.
Yes.
But, it's because she's an incredibly powerful character in the universe. And she's also, like, similar to him, a Nexus character that can move between the dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to she's going to somehow be important to this. It could be because evil Doctor Strange and evil Wanda teamed up.
Yeah.
And are making madness in the multiverse.
What kind of, now, do you know anything about the canon related to the multiverse and Wanda and Doctor Strange? Do you know much about it at all? You can say no, obviously.
I don't know, not really. I know that. No, I don't.
Well, that's fine. I'm just saying I'm very curious to see how they're going to present as Wanda being kind of the wild card of the story. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because she is obviously going to play a big part of the story. I don't know if it's just to set up the next story that she's going to play a larger role in, or if she's a key player in this film. Exactly.
Yeah. What I know is that Wanda has that grimoire, that kind of like book of spells and things.
Mm-hmm.
And that there is a spell in there to get rid of all the vampires.
Heck yes.
Blade wants that spell. This would be a great movie to introduce Blade.
A great movie.
If they're doing it's multiverse. Blade could jump right in and be
and
like.
And if you don't
I think he's going to be introduced in Morbius.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, they're setting up the Dark Avengers, of course.
No, yeah.
Morbius. Yeah.
He might be in this too because Morbius comes out first.
Yeah, I would. It could be Morbius because Morbius is a vampire, and I could see Blade in Morbius, but I don't know if he will. But we haven't even heard any inkling of talks about Blade being in Morbius.
Yeah, but we've seen they keep stuff hidden in Marvel,
keep stuff hidden,
and we got at the end of.
But that's Sony. Morbius is Sony.
Well, so is freaking Spider-Man.
It's a different thing. It's a different thing. You look at like Venom, which is Sony, and then you look at Spider-Man, which is
Sony, Marvel.
Sony and Marvel.
And then you got
but
Morbius,
we know they've already crossed
Sony.
over bringing.
Yeah, but they haven't crossed over the, like Morbius is Sony, but it's not Marvel and Sony. So I don't know what kind of crossover they're doing. I don't know how much crossover they're involving right now.
I think it's all of it.
I think personally that Sony should just give up all of their Marvel properties to Disney.
No. Well, just say, we'll let you handle it. We need to keep getting our money because we paid for it, but we need to let you manage it.
No, because they're managing it bad.
Look, it doesn't really matter. No, Marvel needs to manage it. Marvel Studios needs to manage it. We'll keep our paws off of it, but you still have to pay us. Sony will never, that's the only way this will work, because Sony will never like give up their heavy Spider-Man investment. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. Especially now after No Way Home. Like ever since Tobey Maguire to No Way Home and now into the animated Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Sony's not giving up Spider-Man ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just not going to do it.
It's unfortunate.
It would be silly of them as a business to do.
But
it would be so cool if they did.
Yeah. I had something, but then I lost it.
There's nothing necessarily wrong with Sony because they do have really good money.
Yes, there is.
Well, no, they have really good money.
You didn't watch that Carnage movie?
No, I get.
So after seeing that Carnage movie, I 100% believe that Marvel Studios should own all of its properties. You see what it's doing with its current properties.
I think they would make good movies, but I'm scared to have Disney own everything, and nobody owns anything.
They already
Disney.
own everything.
No, they don't. Don't give up hope.
Trust me, Disney owns Sony.
I don't think so.
It doesn't look like it from the outside, but they own them.
Yeah, but do they own the Madea franchise?
No,
Yes.
that's Tyler Perry, dog.
Yeah.
No, he's in Atlanta. He's not anywhere close to Orlando, Florida.
Disney owns him.
I don't think so.
If Disney says to Tyler Perry, jump, he says, how her? Okay? Yeah, that's in Madea outfit. Disney controls everything.
I don't think so. Disney can't freaking control Netflix.
We're talking old money versus new money.
Yeah, what's more powerful, old money or new money?
An ancient vampire versus a new vampire.
No, Disney can do what
Disney can do whatever it wants.
You guys you're setting up vampire narratives. This is big business.
Who's the
entertainment.
werewolf?
That's too much to add to the analogy. I'm serious though. One of them has been around and knows how to swing.
Yeah.
Swing around their money.
I don't think so. Well,
thing for this.
They clearly know how to swing around their money.
You have cast?
No, I have to look it up.
I was just gonna say, who was the love interest? Doctor Strange love interest.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, she's gonna be in this movie. She's back.
Which is weird to me.
Yeah?
You know, because I've always been upfront about how I feel about shoehorned in love stories.
And you thought this was shoehorned in?
I felt like it was necessary for the first one because that's not what the movie was about.
Mm-hmm.
Was their side relationship. But this next movie, I don't know. It's like...
Why is she looking like albino there?
The blonde hair.
Charles Xavier.
Who's Nicodemus West?
Maybe a new character.
Dr. Nicodemus West. I'm very interested in that now. Because that sounds like a vampire name. I got vampires on the mind.
That do sound like a vampire name. Look, Disney has nothing to do... Disney knows how to swing money around, but they do not necessarily know how to live in the new world.
Mm-hmm. You don't. I think you're talking about things you don't understand.
Yeah, I would.
They don't know how to live in the new world. They are the new world.
You guys, okay, both of you guys, just keep praising Disney's name because you're afraid to question the quo.
I'm not.
Who do you think is more powerful, Disney or Scientology?
Crap, whatever I want. I think
they're
Scientology.
all part of. They're all part
connected.
of Illuminati. They're all part of it.
Freaking. Yeah, Mickey Mouse is showing up to that temple the same way Tom Cruise is.
Okay, so he's.
I don't know if Tom Cruise is probably a low level player in this.
He's the
surgeon.
surgeon.
Be wrong, though, I don't know.
He's the surgeon who worked on Strange's hands. Oh, is he the guy from the first one?
Well, there was surgeons.
Yeah,
in the
probably.
first
Yeah.
one. Okay, so returning, obviously.
Yeah, but I don't think he worked on Strange's hands in this.
What do you want me to look up, Joshua? Just the
I was just
basic
looking up cast. Yeah.
Okay, so basic rundown of the cast. There's no big surprises here.
Can we scroll down real quick? No, keep to the Marvel stuff. More like this.
What are you trying to do? What are you looking for?
I was just looking at
Okay. Either way, I don't think. I think that this is going to be madness, but it's not going to be the kind of madness we're predicting.
Could be.
I think it's going to be focused entirely around the weird other versions of Doctor Strange that he's going to run into.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be focused entirely around the mess that he's made.
I don't want to get into that right now.
And it's going to be focused entirely more so around Wanda.
I think it's.
You think more?
There's gonna be
not more. She'll be in it.
But more so.
No, I don't
around
think it's
Wanda.
gonna be. Oh, she's in the movie. I think it's gonna be a lot of.
No, it'll
him
be
and her.
Him and her, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna be more her than him.
No, it's Doctor Strange. But I think it's gonna be like Captain America: Civil War,
which was primarily about Tony Stark.
which was about Tony and.
She's
Cap.
still in the
But
town,
the thing,
right?
the thing is though,
Where is she right now?
She went off to like a cabin or something somewhere, reading in her grimoire, listening to the voices of her fake children in another dimension.
So
in the multiverse.
Mhm. Why are we looking at Black Panther right now?
I don't know. Joshua clicked on
I
it.
clicked on it because I was curious, and then I said I didn't want to get into it.
I actually almost brought that up to talk about. However, I'm not going to. Across the board, I think Wanda is actually going to be the main player of this film, more so than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange had his kind of sideline day in the sun when he was the one that came up with the plan to save everybody from Thanos, right?
Yeah. I think Strange is going to be causing a lot of the problems. Not necessarily this one. Maybe the evil Strange.
Oh no, this one
is going to be causing a lot of the problems. I think Doctor Strange causes problems.
Yeah, it's
so
his
far,
mistakes.
What we have seen in Marvel is that Doctor Strange causes problems that other people have to help him fix.
Yes.
I think Wanda, if it's not that, it's going to be reversed. Wanda causes the problem, like Spider-Man did.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have to fix it.
I don't think so. I don't think Wanda's going to cause any problems because the trailer's already set up as, why can you do this thing? They call you a hero. They call me, I do the same thing. They call me the villain, right? Mm-hmm. It's in the trailer. And then I saw an article today by a pretty large writer, article publisher, that's saying like all of the things the fans don't want to see, Multiverse of Madness mess up. And
right.
One of those is demonize Wanda.
Yeah.
Wanda is the trophy of this film.
Oh, you think?
I'm positive. Wanda is the one that is going to be coming out as the goddess. In today's world, no way are they making the lead female role like a bad person. They're gonna be redeeming her story and telling as much of this, what we heard from the trailer, narrative about women always are on the down. They have to get themselves up to the next level.
But wouldn't it be such a much better story if ultimately in this next phase of like Marvel and Avengers and the years to come, if Wanda became like the ultimate villain? Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be cool, but the thing is, they can't do that now.
We see where she came from, and then she becomes like the villain. That would be cool. I don't know if anything like that happens in the comics, but I think it would be interesting if they took a character that we are all familiar with and love and make them into the big bad for the next.
I don't think they can do that.
For the next big thing.
They can do that. They won't.
All right.
Hey, if you need copyright-free music for your video needs, for film projects or anything like that, go check out Soundstripe. That's what we use for our videos, for our project that we do for films. They have copyright-free music. So if that sounds like something that you would use, check out down in the description below and use our link. And if you would, use WiseWorks10 at checkout. Back to the podcast.
Either way, this transitions well with the concept of crossovers.
Yeah, not a lot of them. Not doing so well.
You brought this idea to the table. Kind of explained it a little
Marvel
bit.
crossovers?
No.
No, of course not.
Then why do we have?
Well, this listen.
I'm like-
let Wyatt explain his thought
Okay.
regarding the crossover narrative of what we're going to talk about.
I got confused.
DC.
In the comics, they have weird comics where DC and Marvel cross over. I don't want to see that, please. Please. But we're talking about movie universe crossover. What Avengers has done, what DC has been trying, feebly limping along to do. And, what the DC shows have done a lot better than the movies. What the Marvel shows did on Netflix. And, we're seeing it from these big companies, but I think everybody kind of tried a little bit. Everybody has tried a little bit, and they haven't really gotten anywhere. We saw the Universal Monsters universe.
Yeah.
That got one movie, the Mummy movie. And then when they released, when that Invisible Man movie was coming out, I was like, oh, is this part of the Monster universe? I was like, because this is a great movie. This could be a cool addition.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think it's tied to it in any way.
No, in no way. It was just a cool one-off.
It was a cool Invisible Man movie.
Yeah. But I have to push back slightly, but also adding to your concept.
Yeah.
I think it's more Disney's doing it well because Star Wars is dabbling.
Yeah.
Star Wars is dabbling pretty hard lately.
Yeah. With
their series. And it's going to be interesting to see where they bring the next films. I heard this thing in an article that apparently for Disney and Star Wars' future, for the next, how around Christmas, big blockbuster.
Yeah.
Biggin, right? This year, it was No Way Home, right? Apparently for the next 8 years, it's going to be Avatar 2, Star Wars, Avatar 3, Star Wars, Avatar 4, Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
Apparently.
For the big film?
The big film. Every Christmas, they're going to be fluctuating between a Star Wars film
boring.
and an Avatar.
Yeah.
But that's what they're saying. However, crossovers, Star Wars is doing it. They're starting it.
Well, it's not necessarily crossover, but they are taking their universe.
Yes.
And they're doing the crossover stuff in their shows. And they seem to be the only ones right now that are kind of successfully doing
Boba Fett did it hardcore.
They did do it. Well, Mando did it hardcore, but Mando was kind of starting the trend.
Mando, it was mild. It was sampling. Boba Fett went full on.
Well, because the only other show is
Mandalorian. But
so
then they also
sampling.
brought Luke into it.
Yeah.
They brought Ahsoka into it, and they
Right.
brought the Mandalorian into it.
Yeah, and if we're seeing more characters from Clone Wars or Rebels, we're getting a lot of crossover, and that's really good. But Marvel, they didn't really start with crossover, even though it seems like, they were doing this from the beginning. Kevin Feige put Nick Fury into that end credit scene as kind of like a. Oh, wouldn't this be crazy?
Wouldn't it be crazy?
Yeah. No, they did it in the Hulk first.
No, in Iron Man, they put Nick Fury in the end credit scene to kind of introduce the concept.
We did establish on this podcast that
Hulk
Iron
came
Man
after.
Iron Man came before Hulk.
Yeah, but he put
Okay.
Nick Fury in there as Avengers is definitely a thing in the Marvel universe, but he didn't do it with the intention of building the entire Marvel universe. Did I say Kevin Feige? I meant
You did say Kevin Feige.
yeah. Okay, so it was either Kevin Feige or Jon Favreau had that idea for Nick Fury.
Well, Jon Favreau was the director of Iron Man, wasn't he?
Man. Yeah,
I don't know who the director of the Hulk was. The Incredible
I
Hulk.
don't know either. But Feige is the one who kind of put together this plan of the Avengers.
Yeah,
and really started getting it going.
Wildly has worked beyond anyone's imagination for the public, and it's birthed itself into this monster that no one can tame. They have added all of these new writers, actors, directors, all of these creatives inside of this world as Marvel Studios that's turned in, it's built itself on the foundation of the Avengers.
It's almost like the Big Show.
Yeah.
It's like the big. You guys remember back when, TV shows that were on TV were a big thing. Like Friends, for example.
Yep.
It was the big show.
Yeah.
So they would have guest stars on the show.
Like
Tom Selleck or Bruce Willis or so-and-so. And they would play a
Brad
character.
Pitt.
Or Brad Pitt. And they would play a character for an episode or two.
Yes.
And that's kind of what this is. It's like, if you can get in on the show, get it on the show.
And you might get your own movie.
You might get your own movie. Who knows? But we're not seeing what the kind
like Eyebrows.
Yeah. Wait.
Eyebrows. The kid. Eyebrows. What's his name? Eyebrows from Meet the Millers.
Oh, I don't know. The fact that you just said eyebrows, I was like, what?
Everybody knows I'm talking about eyebrows.
We know you're talking about. But we're not seeing it being done successfully by anybody else.
Yeah, the Justice League that's built like before Marvel.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember the cartoon Justice Leagues.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get them, we'd watch them from the library, and the Justice League was the combo of superheroes.
Yeah.
Or combo, I guess, what do you call it? Collaboration
of
superheroes. That stuck in my mind so heavily. I couldn't see past the idea of Batman and the Flash and Wonder Woman and Superman and the Green Lantern not working together. You know what I mean? But Marvel comes in and completely takes the thunder. Now DC can't get themselves straight.
Not in live action.
No.
Johnny.
Not in live action. But I
can.
think DC as a story, like right now, is in the public's opinion of DC, the strongest in individual stories. So Batman is in Gotham. Does that make sense?
I
With
can see
live
that,
action,
yeah.
yes.
But with their like crossover stuff, they're not doing a great job.
Oh, they're not doing a good job. Yeah.
And I can't think of any other medium that's doing the crossover genre. Obviously, I have to mention Sanderson.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he was putting out his first Mistborn book, I think the same time Iron Man came out. And so he had already established that his books, the different worlds, had crossover.
Mm-hmm.
When people started noticing, it's like, oh, there's crossover in these books. Like, this is a completely different world than this, but that's the same character.
Yeah.
That we're seeing in both these stories. He's the only one who's doing that really with his books on a level, I would say, that's comparable to this.
But it's all
in the writing world.
Yeah, it's all
in books.
Yeah. Literature.
Yeah, he has different worlds in what he calls the Cosmere, and they cross over.
Mm-hmm. This is stepping away a little bit, but not really. Still crossover stuff. Did you... I know you've watched some Julian Smith, but did you ever watch almost kind of the last stuff he did before? He tried to do a few other things like a podcast or show, but it never really worked. Mm-hmm. Did you see the kidnap stuff he did?
No, I didn't.
He did it the most beautiful way I've ever seen crossover. So to kind of explain it, you should go watch it. It's been out for a while, like it's like 2009 or something.
Yeah,
but
early YouTube.
So Julian Smith was a YouTuber. He made several videos that went very viral for the time. Not right now. They're not like that. They probably have like 10 million, if that.
I don't know.
5 million. He made videos like Mulk, Hot Kool-Aid, stuff like that. And then he came out with this series called Kidnapped, where in his videos, a guy kidnaps him and tries to get money or something from his...
It's a comedy sketch, though.
Yeah.
The end of that series, it explains how every single one of his videos tied together in this world of... It all kind of fits. That series explained all his videos. It's like, oh, they're all connected somehow.
Yeah.
And it made sense.
And I will say this, the MacGuffin of that story is a box. A cardboard box.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I might have seen it. I don't remember. But
it was like, even though he was just making sketches for YouTube, all along he had this narrative in his head that they all are going to tie together somehow.
And I remember before any superhero stuff came out, I have to harken back to like when John Mark and I were kids. Almost all our stories had crossover.
Time travel.
Almost everything was like, it's like, these characters are really cool, but what if they met these characters that we came up with? They're different characters. You know, when you're pretending to be them, it's you.
Yeah.
But when you step out of it and now they're characters individually with their own personalities, it's still kind of you. But you're like, what if this character and this character met? They were all kind of in the same world.
Yeah.
It's a pretty elementary idea.
But it's the devil's in the details, you know?
It is, yeah.
Or maybe the selling factor of that kind of storytelling is in the details. So it's the way in which you present the crossover.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh my gosh, you know, Superman and Batman say hello, you know, or they come across each other. You can't, it has to be clever.
Yeah.
And if it's not clever, it's not engaging, it feels hokey. And I think the biggest issue we've had with crossover with DC is because everybody knew they're going through, they made Man of Steel and they made Batman with Ben Affleck and they made Wonder Woman. Everyone knows, Justice League.
Well, they didn't make Batman with Ben Affleck. They made Batman versus Superman. They never made a singular Batman movie with Ben Affleck. They just made Batman versus Superman. He's only been in the ensemble.
Okay, so they brought him in without well establishing him as a character. Do you think that might have been one of the biggest issues? Because we've seen Marvel do it. Exact same way.
I think when they introduced Batman, they also introduced Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman showed up in Batman versus Superman. And so now we have the big three of the Justice League all in one movie. And I remember when the trailers came out, everybody was like, "Oh, so they're doing the Marvel Cinematic Universe way too fast."
That's what it. Yeah.
They were like, they are really.
Well, they had to jump on the train.
They were like, they are really trying to force this instead of being like, no, you know what? Let's take our time,
breathe a little.
Let's keep Christopher Nolan on here, maybe making some interesting movies.
Christopher Nolan's like, nah, bro, I'm out.
Yeah,
I got an Interstellar to do.
You got what? Oh, I got Interstellar.
I got Interstellar to do. Matthew McConaughey. You know, Anne Hathaway is kind of a big deal. I'll see y'all.
Imagine Matthew McConaughey is like, hey, Chris, aren't we supposed to start shooting next month? You're over here messing around with this Man of Steel. What is that about, Chris?
You said we were working on this sci-fi movie.
You said we were going to do it. You said it was going to be a big deal.
Me and Anne, we're ready to go.
I've been rehearsing lines with this boy Tim for a while.
Isn't Matt Damon supposed to be in this movie? He's like, this is
you
a big
said
thing.
He was.
This is a big thing.
This is a big deal, Chris. I've been known for rom-coms my entire career.
This one's
trying
to break out. The map.
This one's going to put me on the map, Chris. Don't flake on me. Also, happy birthday.
Are we happy
It
with
turned
this?
into a freaking voice message in my mind.
It's on the phone.
Also, happy birthday.
Like the machine's like, hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, Cillian Murphy gave me your number.
I got your
There's
number
a
from Cillian. And Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
he introduces himself like Forrest Gump.
James Bond.
Like Forrest Gump every time. This is Matthew McConaughey. But yeah, that's crossover.
Who do you think's got? Do you see anybody else doing it in the future besides Marvel, besides DC, besides Star Wars?
I was gonna let you say something if you have something to say. Okay, here's what I would really have liked to see.
Okay,
and something I think would be really cool.
All right,
if Netflix had done Stranger Things, but they did this fun, like crazy monster horror universe, and they had put out movies and shows. By now, they could have this massive universe with the Stranger Things kids, with kids from other monster kind of stories or horror stories, and they all like group up together to fight. You know, that could have been really cool.
We haven't talked about the biggest crossover, the urban legend of crossovers.
Urban legend? Is that the correct term? Are you sure?
I think
going with that.
No, yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Okay, say it.
Pixar movies are on Disney Plus, right?
Yes.
Disney should do this. They should, because it's been rumored for years upon years. This is a big thing. They should put like a secret backdoor kind of in Disney Plus. That you
on
go
the app?
On the app, you go and find this one specific film that's just called like the Pixar theory.
It's called like the Pixar film, and it connects all the movies.
It connects all the movies because that's been like this.
Like a time-traveling Dora the Explorer.
It explains how they're all connected.
I don't think the Pixar theory holds any weight.
I disagree.
I don't think it holds any weight. I think it is.
No.
I think it is
all
animators.
Easter eggs.
I think it is animators putting Easter eggs in different movies and having fun.
There might not be a giant Pixar theory that's as in depth as everybody thinks, but there is a little bit of Pixar theory, even if it's just from these specific numbers that are special to animators are in the films. These toys because animators find it, so there is a small portion, if not.
We have confirmation that back when Bug's Life and Toy Story was being created and in pre-production and production, they had plans all the way through like WALL-E to the dinosaur one that came out just a handful of years ago. They had plans for all of these different stories, right? It was like written down in a synopsis. They had artwork made for it. That is a fact, all right?
Right.
The creators at Pixar were already thinking of all of the films that we've seen over the years. However, I agree with Wyatt. There are too many holes in the Pixar theory.
Yeah.
I think it's all Easter eggs.
Yeah, but a good slice of cheese has always got holes in it.
Look, I think it's all, and it is tasty. I think it's all just Easter eggs and circumstance.
Because a lot of it is, you know, you see in Nemo, you see the kid and he's reading the comic book and it has the Incredibles on it.
There's also the toys from Toy Story on the floor.
Well, the Incredibles came out after Nemo. So it was obviously a point to the next movie. And they've done that in a lot, is where you see something that doesn't mean anything to you. It wouldn't have meant anything to you when you watched it the first time. But then once you've seen the movie that came after, you're like, that's The Incredibles, you know? And so the movies point to something new each time. And I think it's animators having fun knowing what's coming next. And
probably,
you know, just having fun with the things that they're making.
But that is the Pixar theory.
Well, no, the Pixar theory is like a span of time. And Boo from Monsters Inc. is the wild
like
card.
a time traveler throughout time.
Yeah, exactly. Who also happens to be the old lady from Brave.
It doesn't have to be that elaborate, but
that's the Pixar theory.
I think the actual Pixar theory, like the Pixar universe, is what takes place in the artists.
Yeah, just
you know,
their conversations and their fun havings.
I think the entire world exists in their studio, and so it's like they draw things in different things and have fun.
Things and things and
things. That's what crossover in movies is, kind of things and things.
Contrast that really heavily with 21 Pilots,
which is a big elaborate story.
Huge story.
But that's different.
Not really.
It is different.
I think. Well, it is different because it's a confirmed story,
and it's
as
also
opposed to
in music videos. It's not in.
Only a small handful of their music videos are very front facing, telling the story. All the rest is encrypted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is a story, but I wouldn't consider it necessarily crossover, unless you were looking at I would consider like when you looked at that song that they released years ago. And
Migraine,
yeah, and you compared it to what's happening in the current video. That's crossover.
There's tons of crossover though.
Yeah,
like their color coordination that I've talked about in my videos. How their colors today, they had the same colors. I've been talking about 21 Pilots for literally 15 seconds, and you're already
checking out.
Look,
hands on the knees.
But Vessel, their second album is called Vessel.
Yeah.
Now Vessel, the term actually means something from this latest music video. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's cool. It's a lot of overlap, and it's really cool.
Yeah, there's crossover in the music artist creator
21 Pilot
lore. If you want to, if you
21 Pilot canon.
Let me say this real quick. If you resonated with Nicolas Cage looking for clues for the treasure in National Treasure.
Yeah.
If you resonated with that spirit, maybe you resonate with Indiana Jones. And you're like, I'm an adventurer. I need to dig up clues.
That feels like the 21 Pilots thing.
That's what it feels like.
I can totally understand getting behind that. I really
you would
if
you're that kind of person.
I mean, I love it now. I love it now, but I didn't find something like you did in 21 Pilots that made me continue looking for it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
could have been the Pixar theory.
You know what does not connect at all?
Yep.
Except for just being a terrible movie.
Yep.
Our terrible tier list.
That's right.
Yeah.
I brought a terrible tier film, and Joshua gave me some pushback when he saw what this was. I have a quick word to say.
I have never seen the movie, so I said
the argument was about something completely different.
I brought it up. You're gonna have to explain yourself. My terrible tier is Cruella. Came out Disney Plus and in theaters 2021.
I have never seen the movie. I'm only gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's more of a kids movie.
Yeah,
that was my argument. But I said I had not seen it, so I can't say shouldn't be on this list.
My pushback is, this was not just for kids. There was a ton of adults that are like, Cruella, we're going to watch it. There's a lot of edgy stuff in here that was obviously meant for adults, like with the fashion world, the dark side of fashion, all of that, okay?
I mean,
it is friendly for a certain age range of kids. Like, I would say 6 and up, chill to watch, all right? But it's also, there's a lot of stuff for adults hidden in there as Disney and, has classically done. Cruella was advertised as kind of like this. It had a similar aesthetic to what we saw from the Batman.
Yeah.
It was this dark, gothic, kind of like rustic.
Almost like a Tim Burton.
Yeah, a little bit. I was kind of interested. I love Emma Stone as an actor. I was introduced to her by watching The Help, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, The Help was the first movie I watched with her.
Was that her?
That was her. She smoked a lot of cigarettes in that film.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that was Emma Stone.
Okay.
And I was like, she's going to do pretty good. I'm interested. And I watched it, and I was like, the storytelling is whack.
Yeah.
The story across the board is whack. Her origin story is whack. And plus, the concept of Cruella and who she becomes in 101 Dalmatians, who she's supposed to be, doesn't track.
She didn't kill any animals in this?
No. And in fact, if I'm recalling, she actually ends not that kind of person. Like, she's not cruel. She's not cruel. Okay?
Oh.
She's not cruel.
Yeah.
She ends as like a good, kind of morally corrupt, but like a likable good character who actually cares about the vulnerable. You know what I mean?
See, that's my issue with
she's not cruel.
With Maleficent.
Yeah,
where it's like let's take these crazy cool, awesome female villains and make them good.
Yeah. Because they're female. They have a vagina.
Let's make them good. When they were...
Is that what you're going to say that?
No, right now Hollywood is on a kick that's like, if they have vagina, good.
Good. Yeah. But
that's
these
what
are
Hollywood's
like
at
some
right
of the
now.
coolest villains in all of Disney. And let's neuter them essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
And make them good characters. I'm waiting to see the Rescuers, the evil lady in The Rescuers who forces the kid to go down into the hole. I'm waiting for the origin story about her. I'm waiting for
where she was like abuses a kid.
Yeah, she literally abuses.
She has an eating disorder.
Like her husband. And
she was a prostitute for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Against her will.
I'm waiting for the one. I'm waiting for the one where she's the hero, where she's the good person. I hate it, man.
All that to say, Cruella sucked.
Mm-hmm.
We have films that I would rank higher as better films that we've already put on the terrible tier.
So this is worse?
This is worse in my mind.
So this is up there on the list.
This isn't I don't think this is the top of the list for bad tiers. Bad films on our tier list. But this is definitely not like the best of our tier list.
When we do the ranking for these, are we going to have to go back? People who have not seen these movies have to watch them?
No.
Then how do I know like Cruella's worse than?
You're gonna have to take my word for it.
Yeah, we'll get through it.
You just don't want to go watch it.
You know what? No. You know what's weird about this film? She's not cruel to like Dalmatians, or she's not cruel to animals. For like in the middle section, she's kind of cruel to her friends. That's the story. She kind of becomes mean to her friends for a minute.
See, I think a more interesting movie would be Cruella is a closet sociopath.
Yeah.
Who likes to hurt animals, and she's worried that she's going to become like a serial killer. And I'm only saying this because of the serial killer book I listened to. And so to avoid that fate, she gets
slaughtering baby dogs.
She gets into fashion. And in the course of getting into fashion, she realizes that like, just a little, if you just skin this animal, it makes such a beautiful blouse.
Also, you can feel their warm blood on your skin.
She accidentally falls back into that sociopathic behavior of killing animals in the world of fashion.
That'd be sick. I'd be down. Cruella, don't recommend it. Don't watch it. It sucks. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the episode.
We've come to the end.
Thank you for watching. We got to record the midnight special.
Yes.
Here in just a few. How are you feeling?
You feel all right? You feel better? You feel the same?
Come on, man, make a decision.
I'm feeling the same.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just me. I do feel like I'm a part of the club again.
Part of what club?
With the mic.
With the mic?
Yeah.
Oh, you felt out of the loop.
I felt out of the loop for like a long
with your
time.
Little silver mic.
I have a little black bulbous thing looking at me just right here.